In a civilized society, it is only among the inferior ranks of people that the scantiness of subsistence can set limit to further multiplication of human species. It can do so in no other way than by destroying a great part of the children which their fruitful marriage produce. In view of the gains of the labor in modern times, the feudal restrictions which prevailed in Adam Smith's century are hardly credible. The ban on any form of labor organization was only one of the severe handicaps imposed on workmen. Even more burdensome were apprenticeship law in England and the laws of settlement prevailing in England during the time of Adam Smith. The apprentice statute dated back to Queen Elizabeth's reign. As described by Smith, it provides that no person should for the future exercise any trade, craft or mystery at that time exercised in England, unless he had previously served to it as an apprentice for at least 7 years. During these 7 years, the employer furnished only subsistence. Smith observed unscrupulous employers naturally use the device to exploit their worker, taking much and giving little, while the apprentices were in a virtual state of bondage. In denouncing the practice, Smith maintained that long apprenticeship is not necessary, for most trades could be learned in few weeks. Further, apprenticeship regulation were an unfair interference with the workman's right to contract themselves, to choose his own occupation and to transfer from a low wage to a high wage job. As is practiced in China today, same thing was practiced during the reign of Elizabeth I in England, that is, laws of settlement. There were scarce a poor man in England at 40 years of age, I'll venture to say, wrote Smith, who has not in some part of his life felt himself most cruelly oppressed by this ill-contrived law of settlement. Like the Apprenticeship Act, the law of settlement was promulgated in Elizabethan era. Its original proposal was established order in distribution of poor relief. Each parish was made responsible for care of its indigent member. That is, church was responsible to feed their local members. To prevent the number of communities poor from increasing, newcomers were not permitted to take up residence unless they were persons of substantial means. In its application to laborer, the law's practice effect was to create a class of prisoner for life in the town of their own birth, placing nearly unsuperable obstacle in the way of a workman who wished to move from one locality to another.